What's going on, you guys? EA is at it again with the selling of loot boxes, this time for cosmetic items. It's going to be going live March 21st, which, funny enough, is the same day that Legion launches for your tabletop, or, well, actually the day before, but yeah, so some of these changes are good, some of them are bad, and for the ones that are good, I feel like it's a little bit too late. So I'm going to give you a rundown of everything that they're basically announcing. They're changing the way progression is going to work, and that you're going to get your star cards, all your actual upgrades that impact the game. You're only going to be getting those through actually playing the game, like so your new weapons, your new your new upgrades and abilities. All that stuff is only going to be earned through actual playing, which is great, and that's how it should have been all along. The problem is people who are playing this game pretty much already have all that stuff. They did say that if you already have that stuff, you're going to keep all of that stuff. And so I'm like, okay, well, I've already got all of that stuff. I've already got everything that I realistically need, or most of everything that I need. I mean, I don't have purples on everything, but to be honest, the gameplay has gotten stale for me, and I don't really care about farming for purples and all day long anymore. So basically, if you're still playing this right now, I would save all your loot boxes because, if you play in for a while, loot boxes just end up giving you all duplicates anyway. After I've played long enough that anytime I, cash in my credits for a loot box, all I get is duplicates. Loot boxes from now on are only going to have cosmetic items in it. And since those are going to be new, those are going to be the only things that people ever want. And they're going to bring back where you can buy loot boxes, but you're only going to get things that do not affect gameplay. So new costumes, they give the example of, oh, do you ever want to play as a Resistance Rhodian? So it's going to be very, very similar to the way that your appearance was allowed to be changed in Battlefront 1, is what it seems like. I don't know what Imperial options they're going to have as far as Stormtroopers, but there is some clone troopers, where you can kind of design your outfit and your color pattern on your armor a little bit. So I think it'll be a lot more of that. So yes, some of those things are good, and I'm okay with that. But they also went off on this big spiel originally when the game first got hit with drama, and people said, why don't you just have cosmetic items? And they said, well, you can't do things that aren't canon. Nobody wants a pink Darth Vader. But now it seems like they're going back on their word. I mean, they haven't said specifically there will be a pink Darth Vader, but I actually do really expect that. So yeah, so March 25 or March 21st, they're going to start rolling out these patches, and I think it's going to be multiple waves, because it says in April you'll be able to get appearance items directly through in-game credits or crystals, and crystals are, don't forget, they're in-game currency that you actually have to buy with dollars. There are some achievements that let you earn crystals, though, so this way they're saying it's not the only way to get it, but it's pretty much the only way to get it. But yeah, so crates will no longer be able to include star cards and cannot be purchased. Crates are earned by logging in daily, completing milestones, and through timed challenges. Inside of these crates, you'll find credits or cosmetic items such as emotes or victory poses, but nothing that impacts your gameplay. So your in-game credits and crystals are the only way you'll be able to get appearance items. The new appearances are coming soon, meaning you'll be able to grab new looks for your heroes and troopers directly by either using credits earned in-game or crystals available to purchase in-game and through first-party stores. So basically, they're just going to introduce one new thing, and the new thing is that everybody's going to want, and that's all the appearance items. And, yes, you can get those through credits, but it's basically putting real money transactions right back in the game. That was the big problem. And I think they've already done so much damage that they've driven so many people away from this. And anybody who's started to come back is going to still be annoyed because this is the same thing. While this isn't that big of a deal for me personally, it's a huge deal for the people as a whole. And I'm already fed up with basically the way EA has kind of done a lot of their business, is that it's affected other games too. My kids have played, Plants vs. Zombies and other EA games, and it's all, cash shop, and especially on a game that you have to pay for, is the thing that I guess annoys me on this. I don't mind it with other games. Like, I play Overwatch a lot. Some of you know that I play that. I've streamed that sometimes. And I don't mind Overwatch is their method for doing it because it's been the same since it started. It's always been cosmetic, but EA broke enough of this, and they've already done so much damage that's why I say I feel like it's just too little too late. If the game had launched and cosmetic items were in the game and they had gotten it right from the start, then I don't think I would have had really any problem at all, because that's kind of the standard formula. But still, there are a lot of people that do have a problem with that. And when you really cause a rift between a majority of your fan base, it puts a bad taste in my mouth. And what makes it worse, and this is the highlight of it, is that EA is the only show in town. I'm a PC gamer. I don't really play a lot of games on mobile. So, this is it. EA got this exclusive license to make Star Wars video games. And, I'm a gamer. I play a lot more tabletop games now than video games. And this is one of the reasons why, because we don't have good video games anymore. This game isn't awful, and it's certainly an improvement from the previous Battlefront, but it feels just like the previous Battlefront in a lot of regards. And so I feel like in the multiple years they've had this license, we've got basically one game. And Battlefront 2 feels like a DLC for Battlefront 1. I feel like we've just gotten one game, and it's subpar. It's just not good enough. It's not fun enough. And we really need a dedicated space shooter game, and it needs to be made by somebody else other than EA. I mean, really, what I want specifically is, for those rumors to come true and for Disney to split that license up and allow multiple people to compete and make multiple different types of Star Wars games. We need offline single-player campaign-driven games. We need a dedicated space shooter that has multiple scenario configuration, multiplayer lobbies. Or be like, okay, who wants to? Well, let's do one Star Destroyer versus a single squadron of fighters, or let's do a mega battle, 64 versus 64, and have team ships where you can have 8 people on a Star Destroyer and like one person flying it, one person, or like a bunch of people, like 6 people as gunners, maybe one person doing like engineering stuff, or that doesn't even have to be there. We don't have to do it. We don't have to get into the engineering aspect of it, but have a lot of have gunships with people manning the guns. And then have people, in fighters, have multi-person ships that are in mid-tier quality too. Like have your corvettes that take like 3 or 4 people, and then have your large freighter like fire sprays, and your Slave Ones and your Millennium Falcons that are like 2-person ships. Even though technically a Millennium Falcon could be a 3-person ship, no problem. It's just come up with a way to get a whole lot of people into a battle. That would be so much fun. Having multi-person crewed ships has always been something that I've been interested in. There's some games have done it, and some some have done it better than others, but that's always been my favorite. It gets you playing with other people, and it lets you have some camaraderie, and it helps foster guilds and clans and and friendships and teamwork and the fun factor of it all. Maybe somebody's a really good gunner, maybe somebody's a really good pilot, lets you kind of work on your skill set a little bit more. It just makes for a really fun experience. So and I feel like the only way for something like that to happen is for another company to get their license. Not everybody needs as much money as EA does, and if they split this license up between all these other smaller companies, there's so many developers out there that would be able to make such great games. I would even be okay if it didn't have the graphics, because that's one thing this game does have, is it has really good graphics. Like visually it looks beautiful, and I think that's great, but what are they going to do with this whole cosmetic upgrade? Are they going to do anything for Starfighter? If you can't tell by now, Starfighter combat is definitely my favorite part of this. I'm really not a big fan of being on the ground, and I'm a bigger fan of ships in general and vehicles and the technology of Star Wars more so than the actual characters and the story arcs. I'm a bigger fan of the space battles. So anything that's going to lean more towards the technology, whether it's ground battles or space battles, I like them both. And so that's why I'm so annoyed with this, because this isn't going to do anything for me. They're not, they still haven't put B-wings into this game, and you wouldn't want cosmetic stuff on your. What are you going to get? Big glowy like flames coming off of your vehicle or whatever? That's just going to make you a target. So that would actually be a bad thing for anything in the space combat world. So I mean, I'm going on and on and on about this, but basically, I've already got all the upgrades that I want. I've upgraded my bomber to be all purple because I like to fly bombers the most. So my bombers have all their purples. And you know, I'm not going to spend any more money. I'm not going to spend any more money on these crates. It's just, you know, unless they give me nunchucks, you know, like some kind of lightsaber nunchuck on a character or something like that, then maybe I'd consider it, or B-wings. But you know, and the thing is, B-wings shouldn't, you know, you shouldn't have content like that you have to purchase, you know, and that's what they say they're not going to do. But you know, just easing back into this whole cash shop thing. They should have learned their lesson. I think it's just taboo at this point. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. If you agree or if you have something to say, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I appreciate all the support for the channel. Are you playing this game still? Did you play it a little bit? What were your thoughts? Like, were you turned off to playing it after the initial drama and the initial pay-to-win stuff? I mean, I know I was really a big defender of EA and this game when it first launched, because I was really looking forward to it, and I honestly did have some fun. You know, I had a lot of fun playing this game. It started to get old. There haven't really been any new updates. They haven't put in B-wings. They haven't done enough of the stuff that I wanted them to do, and so it started to get stale. And now that they're fixing a lot of the problems, but after everybody's already earned all the unlocks, so I just don't understand the timing of this. And the fact that it feels like they haven't learned from their mistakes, as far as just putting the cash shop back in. I'm not really cool with that. I just think it's, you know, they've screwed up and they're continuing to screw up. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below, guys. If you like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell for alerts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.